Well, once upon a time, there was an apple tree. Hi, I'm an apple tree. Well, actually, you're not an apple tree. You're just a giant apple head. All right, but you're a crummy ventriloquist, so I don't see why you're talking about things. So that's true. Let's start over. Once upon a time, there was an apple tree. Hi, I'm an apple tree. And it lived deep into the forest. And it liked living in the forest, even though it didn't grow apples itself. I'm a little apple tree, goo goo gaga. And it lived under the shade of a giant oak tree. Wow. And it liked living under the shade of the giant oak tree. That oak tree is amazing. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Well, the apple tree was happy living under the oak tree. And spring turned into summer, and summer turned to fall. And something unusual happened. All the leaves on the oak tree started turning red and yellow and orange. Wow, look at those leaves. That's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. The apple tree watched as all the leaves changed colors. But as the fall went along, the leaves started falling to the ground. And the apple tree watched them pile up on the ground where they were beautiful in all their different colors. Wow, look at those pile of leaves. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Well, as the fall turned into winter, all the leaves fell off the giant oak tree. And for the first time, the apple tree could see the sky. Wow! That's all right. The apple tree wasn't so much interested in the sky during the day, but then night came and all the stars came out. And the apple tree had never seen stars before. And these weren't just a few stars. Out in the forest, there were so many stars everywhere you looked. There were more and more and more stars. The apple tree thought it was amazing. Wow, that's amazing. I just said that. All right. The apple tree thought it was amazing. So many stars. Look at all those stars. They're the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I wish I had a star of my own right inside of me. Well, the apple tree watched the stars all night, but then morning came and the stars went away. Wait, where are you going? And the apple tree was sad. I wish I had a star inside of me that I could hold on to it all day long and never have to worry about whether it was day or night. Well, winter passed with the apple tree watching the stars every night and wishing for its own star. But then spring came and leaves started growing on the trees again, including on the apple tree. And not only that, blossoms started growing. And soon as summer started coming towards fall, the apple tree noticed that apples were growing on the tree. Wow, my very own apples. And these apple trees were very nice apples. Look at my apples. Look at my apples. Your apples are very nice, yes. These are the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. But, well, I really wish I had a star of my own. I can't see the stars anymore because of all the leaves. I had my own star, and I could keep it with me all the time. And the star would remind me of how I should be in the world and what I should do. But I don't have a star inside of me. Well, spring turned to summer to fall. And as the leaves started to change on the oak tree, the apple tree noticed something. The apples were getting bigger and bigger. And then one of the apples started to shake. And it was shaking on the tree. And it fell right off the tree and landed on the ground. Apple tree looked down at the apple where it broke in half and looked at it. And right on the apple was a star right inside. Wow! Now that's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And the apple tree knew it had its own star inside of it all the time, just as everyone has their own star inside of themselves all the time. They just need to recognize it. So I want you to see if you have a star, if you have an apple with you, can you go grab it and take an opportunity? And if you can't do this now, go to the grocery store later and do it and get an apple and chop in half. So you want to take your apple and not chop it side to side, but across the center, and then look inside and see if you see stars inside your apple. I see Sadie's already eating her apple, so she must have known about the stars inside. And have somebody help you with the big knife when you cut your apple. But the apple tree knew it had stars inside all the time. To all of us, I'm sure you recognize the stars inside of all of you. Shana Tova. We want to turn to our far, one of the best parts of the service. Yeah, if you have the stars, hold them up. Some of you have really good stars on your screen. There we go. Oh, those are very nice stars. Who else has good stars? Put them up on the screen so that we all can see them up close. Why don't we spotlight as many of them as we can on the screen? Let's hit the spotlights. So we have lots of good spotlights, apples right on the screen. And now, best of all, because you're not in the sanctuary, but you're in your house, you can eat the apple. Go ahead and have your apple in it. So you don't have to wait.